Hello and welcome back to another game on Arena. It's time again after like Age of Empires 4 first big tournament, like Genesis something, I don't know, I didn't really follow a lot, is finished, and I think it was Viper and the Mist that two legends of the Age of franchise really battled it out in the grand finals. I saw who won it. I'm not going to tell you. If you didn't see it, feel free to watch it on YouTube, I guess, or on Twitch, or whatever. But as this game is over and KOTD 4 is happening, players now I think are concentrating a little bit more on Age of Empires 2 again, and there are still a few arena games that are happening. This particular one is from like the first half of November 2021. Last Amigo, that's one of Modri's account. He's playing as the Byzantines, and his opponent Dark is a Delight, which is DracKeN in purple as the Turks. More or less a classic from Age of Conquerors, really, and I'm really curious to see how this one is going, because Turks are considered more or less the strongest civilization in the arena with their better light, fast stars, free upgrades, and that extra pierce armor, as far as I remember. And of course, heavy cav archers, that's a go-to unit. Maybe in Genesis we're going to find out. And the name, I think, comes from the fact that DracKeN did not make it through qualification stage of KOTD 4, King of the Desert, even though he was at a very high rating, so he had a really nice seeding position, but he lost to, I don't know who, probably somebody who's playing a lot more Raven than DracKeN did over the last years, I imagine, and therefore it probably was some kind of bet that he lost. True CL, Dark is a Delight, that's his name for a month or so. So if I'm going to cast a few more games that involve DracKeN, we're going to see this name again. We have both players up to feudal age. We have a second gold in the back for DracKeN, and the main gold quite safe, but on the right hand side this is quite open. Second stone outside, main stone forward here, third gold forward outside, and the big problem, it's Modri is up to castle age first, it's going to be. He's got third gold forward, second gold forwardish inside, and the main gold, wait, where is that? No, in the back, pretty much, main gold, main stone in the back, that's quite nice. The movement on the map tells me Modri has some military units, and that's a few spearmen. We do see the castle coming up from DracKeN, so he's going with the more or less classic Turks approach. Going for Genesis, one of the... my mouse again is not working. Come on, why is it only in the game? Like, usually it's working out, but in the game it really has problems. Going for the classic Genesis push, one of the strongest units in the game. And Modri is going to try and defend, I imagine. Ooh, double monastery. This is interesting. Wants to go for the relics. All the relics on the right-hand side of the map, because the players are located on the left, more or less. And it looks like we have one light cav, and only now Genesis production can start, which means Modri should be able to grab quite a few relics. Of course, these spearmen that he has, they're not really going to be a lot of help against Genesis. And Modri went for the spearmen because it would have easily been possible to go for light cav as the Turks, as DracKeN's point. And now we have the monks trying to run away. There is one light cav, 2 hits on the monks, but he's taken down. Wow, both, and is getting away. Very nice to see. Now there's +1 pierce armor, which is not helping against the spearmen. But a light cav, of course, bonus attack against the monks, and they only have 30 HP, now 45, which means 3 hits needed, I think. Take the monk down. That's another dead monk, potentially. That's 2 hits, and no, this monk is surviving, actually. We have now Genesis moving in. A scout cav from Modri. Could have attacked here. Let's see, what can a Genesis do? Can it take down the monk before it actually makes it home? Yes, there's the relic close to the gate, but DracKeN is saying, hey, give me some relics. Come on, I'm investing into a lot of military units, give them to me. There's one monk going to grab the relic and bring it home, so Modri should have like 1 or 2 at least. Is that only 1 relic for now? The other 4 still on the field, interesting to see. And now DracKeN, of course, has the advantage. Look at this, why is my mouse not working? I don't like this at all, and I'm tending to go with the touchpad here, which is really, really annoying. I don't like it. But okay, if it's not working out, then I'm going to try this. Now, Modri should not be able to grab any more relics. Maybe 1 more, but not many more relics unless he's investing into way more military units. Of course, he can go for the 3TC mini boom or the 4TC boom even. Maybe that's possible. Not quite sure if it's a good idea. But it's at least a possibility to go for a big boom and go for a lot of units. Like, if you're opening maybe siege and trash units, Byzantines, you might be in good shape. Then again, you need to make sure that you're not getting killed before that. And of course, it's DracKeN who is going to try and grab relics now. He's got a monastery up, obviously, as there's a monk grabbing that relic farthest away from him. DracKeN going with the second TC on the wood line. I imagine that's TC number 2 only because the castle investment is big in early castle age, obviously, and producing Janissaries is quite expensive on the food count. Now we have a few Janissaries attacking. We have 5 monks starting to convert, making sure that DracKeN cannot just go and break in without any resistance. Watchtower up, and there is one villager. She's getting sacrificed for the greater good to build a piece of stone wall behind that weaker piece. Now DracKeN in the meantime is trying to grab all the relics, but there is one light cav, no scout cav still alive, and the monks of course can heal it. So it's actually not for free to grab these relics. And the question now is, what are the players going to do? There's 3 TCs now up and running for Dark Noob, for Dark Noob, yeah, I'm leading that. For DracKeN as well, for Dark Noob is a delight as well, and the villager difference is not really big. Look at this, that's 4 villagers, maybe like with hand card coming up, maybe it's like 6, 7, but maybe not, I'm not quite sure, and that means the game is really open and anything can happen. I would give Turks the edge now, because it's DracKeN who has the military presence on the field, can put pressure, and at the same time he still should have a decent economy. He's got a lot of gold in the bank, obviously. Food count, not so good, but it's not that big of a problem, I imagine, because, well, Modri is close to clicking up to Imperial Age, and he's got a cheaper imp, so maybe he is in a better spot. Economy-wise, he should be, really, because he should have a lot more resources collected until that point. And there's a siege workshop coming up now for him. That's the 2nd building that he needs, and a university, so it's going to have 3 castle age buildings. And then we are going to see the Imperial Age click, and the question is, what is he going to do? Are we going to see elite skirmishers, really? It's an option. You're good against Janissaries, you're good against heavy cav archers, the only problem are the hussars, really. And with halberdiers mixed in, maybe even camels, we could see a very even game. Now there's a castle coming up forward, and Modri will get that castle up, and he should be able to save it for quite some time if DracKeN is going aggressive here. It's Modri is up to Imperial Age first, and that means he can go trebuchets earlier. He will be a little bit behind the bombard cannon protection if he wants to go for that, but Janissaries, no, Janissaries archer range is on the way. And of course, instead of elite skirmishers, we can see arbalest here, crossbowmen on the way, and arbalest crossbowmen being produced, and arbalest also done. We have DracKeN up to Imperial Age, going for a few stables on the side, and another castle protecting that extra stone. I like this idea. He's moving out with Janissaries now. There is arbalest moving forward. Missing chemistry still, but other than that, they are completely upgraded on the attack. Now I think chemistry also finished, and we have the first big fight here. Arbalest against Janissaries. I think Modri might have been able to win that fight, or almost win that fight, but DracKeN is saying, no, that's too close for me, my Janissaries are too valuable, I don't want to engage here, and Modri can easily afford to lose that battle, lose the arbalest, because he can easily reproduce them. The Janissaries, it's not that easy. Now, DracKeN, what are you going to do? Are we going to see hussars and Janissaries for the time being? Maybe some siege. I imagine bombard cannons might be a good option, or even siege rams come to mind, but bombard cannons is really the go-to unit here. Or is it going to be heavy cav archers? I think the transition to heavy cav archers needs some time. We have barracks on the way now for Modri as well. DracKeN has the score lead, and he's got the relic advantage, 4-1, but Modri somehow has the map control, and I feel like he's in a better position somehow. Let's find out what he's going to do next. Hussars, of course, getting produced, and that's 5 pierce armor already, and they're not fully upgraded on the defense. That's only happening now, so that should be 2+5. They're missing attack upgrades, but it's not a big deal really, because 2+5 means the arbalest only doing 3 damage per arrow, and that's really not a lot, considering that's arbalest. That's the fully upgraded, yeah, it was the mouse again, fully upgraded standard archer unit. We have villages moving forward. There's a siege workshop coming up. There's a few outposts on the field, and I like this idea to give Modri some vision. Of course, Byzantines have these free. Are they still free, the upgrades from the TC? Like Torn Watch and Town Patrol, I think they are, or maybe one of them is. And having some vision against a civilization that is going cavalry units, hussars obviously, I think it's a good idea, but the player's not really engaging yet, and it's only 34 minutes. Another castle coming up here for DracKeN. Modri should have been able to see it, and the first big engagement potentially happening. Few monks, halberdiers in the mix, and DracKeN is realizing, okay, that's too many enemy units. I don't want to engage here. I need to get more of my own units, and he still does not have that military count that he wants to have. Modri is ahead in that regard. These 2 outposts should fall. The villager might go down here as well, and of course DracKeN is going to grab as much stone as possible. both civilizations have access to bombard towers. Would be amazing to see them, but it's unlikely, really. And now we have, is that Sipahi upgrade? No, artillery. Artillery is not costing any stone any longer, as far as I remember, so that's 14 range on the bombard cannons. And I think it's Sipahi giving the heavy cav archers plus 20 HP, so it makes them a total of 100 if there are heavy cav archers. And we have that castle on the right hand side. Towns that are coming up for Modri here on the stone, trying to grab, to take it as long as possible. Players still not engaging, and I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I think this is not going to be the big fight that we are expecting to happen, or it is actually. Look at it, the Hussars moving in now with +2 attack. Janissaries and Arbalists, of course, helping out. These few Halberdiers not doing a lot, but the Hussars are falling really, really fast. It's just too many Halberdiers for Modri. DracKeN losing the first big engagement, but Modri cannot really follow up because he doesn't have any siege units, and without siege you're not going to break through the castles. So let's see, DracKeN taking stone on the right hand side. Modri, I think, is not really focusing on that because he wants to hold the ground between the two player spaces and maybe wants to try and take control of these gold spots in the long run. It would be very nice for him because gold wise Turks is more expensive, of course, but 4 relics against 1 means DracKeN has a nice long-term advantage. Now the Halberd is moving forward. Modri is actually the one to engage here, saying I'm moving forward with my army, I'm going to try and take down as many units as possible. I think it's not really working out. The Hussars are falling now, but the Arbalists needed to attack the Janissaries faster, and that's not happening this time. So Modri actually with a little bit of a misfight here. There's also bombard cannons behind to help out, and by that DracKeN suddenly with more military units on the field, winning the second big battle of the game, of the day. And now he has to move back, and DracKeN, I think, can follow up with the bomber towers, bomber cannons, and try to do some damage. Like this barracks might go up, but it should go down fast, really fast. And yeah, it's on below 1k HP, and yeah, that's falling for sure. Bomber cannons, of course, very good against buildings as well, but they're not really for the buildings at this point in the game. The Arbalists need to pay attention. Now, Modri is saying I have enough army again to try and defend against this somewhat push here. It's not really a push because DracKeN is just standing in the middle and is waiting for Modri to get out of his safety between the military buildings. And that's again, I think, a little bit of a mistake because Modri does not have the numbers. Modri 35, DracKeN 40 and 50 military units, and the bombard cannons now can start to take all the buildings within their range. The castle actually is not so far away here, and DracKeN showing why the Turks are so strong for now. Elite Janissary upgrade done, fully upgraded. 50 HP, that's 22 attack, and the bombard cannons, of course, with 14 ranged, accompanied by the Hussars, 7 pierce armor. That's a really strong composition. And then you have still the option to go for the heavy cav archers. For now, it's Hussar production here for DracKeN, but heavy cav archers might be an option in the long run. There's the siege rams for Modri. That's one of the siege options you have. Honors are not really that good. The siege rams might be quite helpful against Janissaries, and the bombard cannons, that's 7 of them now. They can take down siege rams quite fast, but you need to micro against these, and once the siege rams are close, bombard cannons are falling really, really fast as well. Modri, I think, should maybe invest into some elite skirmishes already and maybe save some gold here. Looks like he does have a lot of gold income. 12 villagers in gold. He's got enough stone for a castle now, for another one, but does that really help him? Not quite sure. And like this, like DracKeN is taking good fights here. He's sacrificing his Hussars, they're falling in battle, but they're doing a lot of damage, and Janissaries are still quite safe. They are on very high HP, and that's 10 bombard cannons ready to fight, ready to do damage. And look at this, Arbalest falling fast here, of course. Problem is that bombard cannons, if you're controlling them, they're only attacking at one point. It would be nice to, like, say stop, and they're attacking the Arbalest. Not quite sure they're doing this. Actually, Modri is going for the counter attack on the left hand side, breaking the walls, and that's fortified walls already, doing damage on the houses. The blacksmiths should go down, but these siege rams, they're not going to get anywhere closer to the TC other than, okay, one is attacking. I'm wrong here. Looks like there was a misclick. No, actually, look, DracKeN is saying, okay, you're going to attack here, I'm going to build a castle. On your face, more or less, that siege ram will go down, falling to the Hussars. TC is still alive. Villager numbers should be good for both players actually. DracKeN 143, that's almost too many. On the right hand side there's a castle coming up, but Hussars moving in. That castle should go up potentially because there's TC to help out. On the left hand side the castle is up for DracKeN. The Legionistas will make sure that these Halberdiers and villagers, if there are any, are falling. And no, that's villagers from DracKeN. And the bombard cannons are moving forward. Not quite sure why, that might be a misclick. Finally skirmishers on the field, not elite yet, but the battle is heating up, and it looks like, oh come on, my mouse again, damn it, I hate this. Let me unplug it for a minute. Should have a mouse here, and see if it's going back. In the meantime, we see the battle from the Elite Janissaries fighting or shooting at everything. Hussars moving forward. Elite skirmisher done, very important. Bombard cannons still alive. I can see 7 in total. A few of them must have gone down. There is now stables coming up forward. Siege rams still alive, and that's it. There's the siege ram. Bombard cannons should go down so fast, but the siege ram is of course getting attacked here. That stable should go up. On the right hand side, we have trebuchet from DracKeN and a cap ram actually moving forward, attacking that not finished castle. Looks like the Hussars did enough damage here. And Modri is still producing halberdiers and elite skirmishers, obviously, but he is not in a really good position. DracKeN with a big score lead, and the only question is, can DracKeN actually do forward progress here? I like the fact that he's attacking 2 sides. He's got the castles here, he's got a second trebuchet on the way, 2 cap rams on the way. Could even opt for siege ram if you want to do it, just needs to save a little bit of food, but maybe that food is better invested into Hussars for now. And Modri with quite a low military number, below 30 at 45 minutes, that's not really a good sign here. We have the castle from Modri up, but it's going down, falling to 3 trebuchets, and now that TC is next, the barracks of course getting attacked here, a few Hussars trying to stop the cap rams, but there's the halberdiers, sorry, but Hussars are taking them down, and there is the halberdiers, but against the Legion Janissaries it's tough to move forward, and Modri just needs the army numbers, which he doesn't have. There's also bombard cannons that are really annoying in my opinion, and Modri is in a really tough position. He's got a lot of military buildings, look at this, but the battle is looking good for DracKeN. Everybody is moving forward, but yeah, they're falling really fast. The Elite Janissaries are just so damn strong. 22 attack on 3 melee armor, that means 40 HP halberdier. I guess that's 3 shots that you need to take them down, which is no, there's 60 HP, sorry, that's like 4 shots to take them down, which is important, better than 3. But still, it's going quite fast here. Elite skirmishers is obviously a good choice, not against the Hussars, that's a big problem. The Hussars are just very strong in 95 HP, and the 7 pierce armor means the elite skirmishers is doing almost no damage whatsoever. And I think if DracKeN can transition into heavy cav archers now, which he's probably not going to do because elite skirmishers on the field, but if he could do that, it would be really nice. Then again, he's got elite janissaries from at least 4 castles, 5 castles in total for him, like in a nice row. There's on the right hand side 2 castles, then there's one like technically in the middle of the map, not really, more on the side. There's the initial castle, that's 5 castles, number 6 on the way. Modri has 2 castles still, but they're really on defensive purpose, they're not really doing anything. And it looks like Modri is in trouble here. Villager numbers, Modri is on 111, and that might be too little for Byzantines here actually to keep the army production going. Also 16 military units against now 68. That's like 4 times the military numbers for DracKeN. I think it's a matter of minutes before Modri is going to resign the game, because there's really not a big resistance that he can put up. We have a few elite skirmishers, we have a few halberdiers, we have so many Hussars and elite janissaries on the field. Bombard cannons now starting to attack everything, and even though there's 1 castle falling for DracKeN because there's siege rams still, it's like really not slowing him down too much. The siege rams can be annoying, but it's not like he's going to be like, yeah, oh, siege rams, I am in trouble. No, that's not going to happen. And Modri is going to lose the last castle. No, not even that. He realizing, okay, darkness of the light, DracKeN beat me in this game, Turks too strong, and I think it might be a civ nowadays. I'm not quite sure what the newest patch did to the civilizations, because there should be a new one when this game is going up, but I didn't really look at it. Hope you enjoyed this game, a really nice classic. Back in the days, I think Byzantines might have had a little edge, or maybe like 50-50. Nowadays it looks like Turks are a little bit stronger, and both players of course on a very high level. They're both playing really well. In this case, the better end for DracKeN. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you in the next games. GG.